Coming up, a phone so hot we can't tell you the name. We'll take a look at something we wish we didn't know the name, Misfit Flash. The new 3DS, a look at a retractable USB mic from Samson. And I have a $59 Windows 8.1 tablet. It's time to watch before you buy.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Before You Buy is brought to you by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com. Before You Buy is brought to you by iFixit. You can fix it, and iFixit makes it easy with free step-by-step repair guides, high-quality replacement parts, and all the tools you'll need. For $10 off your purchase of $50 or more, go to iFixit.com/twit and enter the code Before You Buy at checkout. And by SmartThings. SmartThings lets you monitor, control, and automate your home from wherever you are using your smartphone. Right now, SmartThings is offering Before You Buy listeners 10% off any home security or solution kits and get free shipping in the U.S. when you go to smartthings.com/twit and use the offer code TWIT at checkout. Welcome to Before You Buy, the product review show on Twitter where we get the latest, greatest, and this time really latest, greatest stuff and give you a chance to see how it would be to use it in real life. Miriam Jouar is here. She's been really great getting us the latest, greatest, but this one is embargoed, embargoed till 8 o'clock Wednesday morning.
This morning, right now.
And this is a phone a lot of people are very interested in, the new LG Flex.
Yes, actually, I'll show you the back.
This is the second Flex.
So yeah, so let's give you a bit of history and context. So last year, LG launched this phone called the LG Flex, which was a 6-inch phone, and you have a Lumia that's 6 inches. So let's
Big
just
phone.
give you an idea. A 6-inch phone is about this big compared to this guy here. Okay. So anyway, they launched the Flex. G Flex, and the trick of it was that it had a flexible display. It's actually a plastic AMOLED, and on last year's model, it was only 720p on a 6-inch display.
Yeah, and I reviewed it and wasn't crazy about it. But when you say flexible, I'm not going to bend this.
Well, you can. I mean, so that's not the intent. The intent is
it's pre-bent for your
you can
pleasure.
do this, like you can press on it and it bends.
Don't do that,
effectively,
Miriam.
but it's designed for that. Yeah, but the point I'm making is that really what you're looking at is the first kind of plastic flexible display. There's glass on top.
Yeah,
it's actually been specially treated to be even stronger than Gorilla Glass. They say.
Interesting. Okay,
but it's underneath it is a plastic substrate
that is bendable.
That is bendable, and they do that for their watches too. The LG G Watch R has a plastic OLED, and last year's G Flex had a plastic OLED. So last year was 6 inches, 720p, but it wasn't a very good display.
It wasn't a great display.
Color quality was meh. The contrast was meh. But this year, check this out. We now have a 1080p AMOLED, so 5.5 inches, 1080p by 1920, and look at how gorgeous these colors are.
You know, as long as you mention the Nokia Lumia, which has a great OLED screen as well, we'll show the two of them together because that may be a reference point that people recognize.
There you go.
It is equally good. I mean, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous
These are gorgeous
screen.
displays. And the thing I love about this AMOLED is AMOLEDs usually have a really hard time getting color rendition.
They're great for blacks.
Right. But you actually do that. The 1520 is IPS. It's the,
it's
the Icon and the 930 that are AMOLED.
Right.
But the biggest challenge lately has been to get the color reproduction. If you look at this Flipboard icon here, like nice little plug for Flipboard.
It's a good red icon.
It's a really great quality red.
Red is traditionally hard.
And you look at even all these colors look pretty accurate to me. The Twitter icon, the wallet icon up here. So that's the big deal here, is that they've really managed to get this display tech to fly.
And it is 1080p. They've managed to get higher resolution, too.
And so it flexes, of course, as I showed, and it's beautiful. But
now, we've seen curved TV screens. Curving doesn't necessarily make it better.
No, but that's just a gimmick. So I think it's a gimmick. But what they're saying is that it's a taste thing. You like it, you want that design. The other thing is, I don't know if you can get to me right now.
It fits your head.
But it fits your head.
Your head is curved.
So you talk to it.
It makes more sense, frankly, in a phone than it does in a TV.
It also fits better in your pocket. It feels more comfortable.
It's a little. That's what I had problems with the original Flex. Was it curves into your. I don't want it to curve in my pocket.
Yeah, it's true. In the front pocket, but in the pants pocket, most people,
maybe that's
like it kind of
goes around your hip.
Falls at this kind of hip spot. Okay. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. The other thing they claim And they did claim that with the original Flex as well, was that it's a little more rugged because if it drops flat like this,
it doesn't hit
the glass. So all the forces are spread evenly throughout the chassis.
That's a really good point. Normally, it would hit a rock right there.
Correct.
And I know that happened to Jason Howell, and it smashed his Nexus 6.
Right.
This time,
so that's the idea. And then the other thing is they've improved that coating that they used last year. That was a self-healing coating.
Yeah.
So fine scratches are gone in 10 seconds now.
On the plastic back.
Versus
that's quite pretty
a minute before.
Yeah.
But here's the big thing. You know, we don't like this is all cosmetic stuff, right? You want the meat of this, right?
Okay.
And the meat of this is the first phone that I've ever played with that has a Snapdragon 810.
So this is the new
next generation 64-bit, the mother of all processors on the market today.
Is it faster? Is it better battery life? What do you get?
It's both. It's so smooth. Look at the frame rate on this, and this is their UI skin. Yeah. If I install the Android launcher, it's even more slick. And so that's the thing I really love about this phone is that it just performs, you know, so well. Like
the
it's
810 is a 14-nanometer process,
yeah,
right?
Is
that right?
I'm not
no,
sure,
maybe
actually.
it's still
I think
22.
it's still 22.
Yeah.
But you know, you look at the general fluidity of this UI,
oh, it looks gorgeous.
and it's just gorgeous.
Now it's not Lollipop, obviously.
It is Lollipop. That's the other thing.
Oh,
this is the
LG
first
skinned
LG,
Lollipop.
correct?
Yeah.
So just to bring things back to normal, what I usually do is I go into the Play Store and go install the Google Play Launcher, and life is better again.
Yeah. Now you really are Lollipop.
And you know what? I did that with the Android keyboard as well. So now I have pretty much a Nexus-like experience with Lollipop on this phone.
That's good to know. There must be other bloatware on there from LG.
A lot. This is a carrier phone for SK Telecom.
Okay.
In Korea.
That's Singapore. Korea. Okay.
It's unlocked, so it's on. I've got it on AT&T on LTE here.
Okay.
But it doesn't support T-Mobile's LTE band.
When is it available in the U.S.? It's not available.
So
yet.
it's not yet available. There's no specific. There, I'm the Google Now launcher.
Yeah.
now.
See, that looks pretty clean.
So that's much better, right?
It's got the Lollipop icons.
We like that better.
Yeah.
Okay, so here.
That's a little non-standard, the white background, but
no, that's actually Lollipop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on my Nexus, that's what it's like.
Okay.
They've changed the background. So look at that animation. See that?
Yeah.
That's nice 60 frames per second right there.
Yeah.
So it's not available in the US. It probably will be at some point because this is actually technically a better phone than the G3. So you don't have a Quad HD display. I have the G3 here next to it so we can compare.
I don't want the Quad HD.
So
I'm happy with 1080p.
Here are two
battery
phones.
life.
Exactly. So here are two phones. Check them out.
Yeah, which one looks better? This looks better.
Let me actually crank the brightness just a
The
little
Flex
bit
looks
so that
better.
they have the same brightness on both. And you can see.
Now it's too bright.
Check it out.
The IPS almost has a yellow cast compared to the OLED.
So we got IPS for Quad HD on the right and 1080p AMOLED on the left.
If you look at text, which is normally where you'd see that high-res difference, it doesn't look bad at all on the 1080p.
So other than the display, you get a better processor.
Yep.
And if you look at them in the back, you can see how similar the camera layout is.
That's still that weird back camera button and rocker for the volume.
And guess why the camera layout is the same? Because they have the same laser autofocus.
They do.
Up here.
Okay.
And they have a better, even further improved optical image stabilization on the camera.
Do you like it? I was a little underwhelmed with the LG G3.
I think the LG G3 camera with the right camera software is one of the best cameras on Android
and
today.
that laser focusing does make a difference.
It really is fast. And this improves on that. I've taken some really beautiful shots with this phone. But, you know, the biggest problem is the stock camera app. It doesn't give you fine control with manual settings.
Using camera FV? Or?
I'm using FV5, and that really helps.
Yeah.
But on the G3, and this is probably going to happen to the G Flex 2, is the community, the XDA forum guys, took the G2 camera app, tweaked it to make it compatible with the laser autofocus, and put it on the G3. And it's gold. Because now you have exposure, you have ISO, you have all the stuff you want. So I figure they're going to do it for this phone.
So this will, because it's Lollipop, support Google's new V2?
Well, interestingly, when you install Camera FV5 on this right now, it should see that it's Lollipop and has the APIs, but it doesn't give you the fine control and the raw support yet. I assume there's something that needs to be clicked somewhere in the APIs for that to happen. It can be done. It can be done. Yeah. I mean, Signage and Mod supports the APIs on non-Lollipop phones on the OnePlus.
Right.
So
give us the pros and cons. This is again, we should reiterate, not yet available in the U.S., but is available in Asia Pacific.
So mostly Korea right now. Also, another bunch of specs probably useful to you guys is 3 gigs of RAM.
Oh yeah, you didn't mention.
32 gigs of built-in storage.
Nice. SD card.
SD card. It's a removable back. Let me show you. But the battery.
Can I take the battery?
Removable.
Yeah, they don't like that.
It's a 3,000 milliamp hour battery though.
And you know, with a
monster
1080p
battery.
screen and the 810, this
Check
should
it
give you,
out.
what kind of battery life are you
About
getting?
a day and a half, 2 days
Oh,
now.
nice.
It's great. Micro SD and micro SIM too, so you don't have to use a special modern SIM if you don't have one floating around. You know, good battery life, great camera, great display, but not Quad HD. So, you know, pros and cons to that. Less resolution, but better battery life.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind that at all. I think the QHD thing was misguided.
And then the processor, finally 64-bit, Lollipop, the best processor you can get on the market. So, you know, I would absolutely say this is a buy. But I think since it's not really available in the U.S. yet, I would say wait for it to become available with a carrier.
It's a buy in South Korea.
Buy in South Korea.
And we don't know what the price will be, but I presume it'll be the
I
usual.
figure it's going to be in the $650 range as usual. This is a pretty high-end phone.
I just hold it?
Yeah, absolutely. Play with it.
I really like the back. I feel like that's a
so
nice
it's a bit of a
back.
fingerprint and dust magnet.
Yeah.
I have a chamois here if you really want to go at it, but
every time you use the phone, you're going to want to rub it
pretty bad.
down.
Like you know, under this
and
lighting.
that does feel nice, but does anybody really hold the phone up to their face anymore?
Does anybody talk on phones?
No,
anymore?
actually, that's a good point. And does the curve, which is very slight, maybe only a few degrees, does it inhibit in any way typing or?
No, I actually find it looks kind of, you know, my glasses are pretty strong and they kind of distort my field of view a bit. And this kind of curveness to me seems to give it a more natural vibe. You know, I don't have as much of that convex feel that I get on a perfectly flat screen. But I mean, you know, your mileage may vary. I think it's a gimmick in terms of the curvature.
The curve is about aesthetics. It's not about functionality.
You know, does it look cool? Do you like the looks of it? And especially this beautiful red finish, I think is great. Some people hate it. The other option is like this kind of boring gray that
I love
see
the
here
red
on
finish.
the,
I would
on
get
the
this one.
G3.
The other thing that people don't like about curves, and I'll put it over here so you can see it, is when you do lie it flat on the table and you want to use the keyboard, you're getting, where are you? Where's your hand? There you go.
Right there.
You'll get all this raw. You can't type flat. So, but people who like to do that know to stay away from curved backs.
And another thing to remind you of all those people wondering about the back button because you might not have used another LG phones. They've been doing this for a while, but there's also double tap to wake.
Love that.
And double tap to go back to sleep.
Love that.
Right? So you don't really need to have the button in the back. But yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, there's very few drawbacks here other than not available in the US officially. Really, right now, you can't go wrong with this phone.
So a buy for the brand new, so new that we had to embargo this show until 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning Pacific time. Brand new LG G Flex 2. Miriam Jouar, thank you so much for bringing that to us. You're going to Mobile World Congress this year?
I will be at Mobile World Congress, yes.
Right. And we expect to see a lot of new phones there.
I will give you a report when I come back.
You're bring back a Santa's bag full of goodies.
I hope so. And then, you know, there's going to be all about Android for me to tell the tales.
I should say that you're now a regular on All About Android. Every other week, every third week, something like that. I can't remember what it is. Every week, as often as possible.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah.
Hey, it's great to have you. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you so much.
We continue on right now with a look at a silly name, but maybe it's a great product. I don't know. Shannon Morse Snubs has a look at the Misfit Flash. What is that?
Hey everyone, I'm Shannon Morse with Before You Buy, and today I have the Misfit Flash, which is a fitness and sleep monitor. This thing costs $49.99, so definitely a really good price for a fitness and sleep monitor, and it comes in 7 different colors, including this beautiful blue. How nice. It includes a wristband as well as a clasp for this little device, which is the actual Misfit Flash itself. So on the clasp, you can just stick this on a keychain if you want to and have it dangle by your side, or you can use the wristband, which is actually pretty comfortable because it has this nice soft rubber texture. I actually had to clasp it on the closest notch, so it was a little bit snug on my wrist, but it didn't bother me during the time that I was using it. This will track your calories burned, your distance traveled, steps taken, and also your sleep quality and duration of sleep as well. The LED display, which they call it a display, but there's pretty much just a bunch of LEDs on the front that flash whenever you change it. It'll show you your watch time with the different LEDs around the side, so there's 12 total, and your percentage towards your goal. It also takes a 2032 CR battery in the back, so basically a watch battery, and it'll last for about 6 months of life. Now, obviously, I didn't have this for 6 months, so I can't quote that to be exactly accurate, but that's a pretty long time, and you don't have to charge this with a USB every night or every week like you would with a lot of the other fitness and activity monitors out on the market. This is waterproof up to 30 meters, and it works with Bluetooth 4.1, so it can work with pretty much anything, any of your smartphones or tablets that you have available. Now, as far as the application goes, and we'll get some close-ups of this as well, You can add friends on here. You can also keep a track record of all your different specs. You can set different goals per day, and you can view all your specifications, such as your calories burned, your steps very accurately, your miles, and your sleep duration exactly on here as well. It is available in the Google Play Store and the App Store, and both of those are free. Now, as far as the accuracy goes, it seems very accurate to me. It connects really, really easily since it is Bluetooth, so that's super simple. I just wish that it had a little bit more flexibility. For example, when I was using the application on my phone, I could see the entire day of calories burned, but I can't actually zoom in, or I can't click on a specific hour and see how many calories I burned for just that hour. Now, you can record different activities by holding down on the application itself, on the flash, and that'll record an activity that you had just done. But if I forgot to use that activity monitor, then I wouldn't have any way to see exactly how many calories I burned during an hour when I was walking around a convention, for example. Now, I did also want to mention that Misfit just announced the following upcoming integrations with this device as well. So you can now use it with Nest, Spotify, IFTTT, the Logitech Harmony, and the August Smart Locks, and even Yo, which is kind of interesting. Does anybody still use Yo? I don't. So moving on to my pros and cons. First off, on the pros, there is no charging that you need to do. You just have to change out the battery every 6 months or so. It's fairly accurate as far as the application goes, and it's inexpensive. It's only 50 bucks. I mean, you can't really beat that when it comes to a device that's accurate. On the con side, though, you do have to purchase batteries, so there's an ongoing price there, and there's no on-watch display other than just the 12 LEDs around the sides. And my last con on there is that the application gives you more of an overview. It's not exactly as detailed as I wish it was. So is this a buy, try, or a don't buy? Well, I gotta say, for the price and for how accurate it is, it's definitely a buy. This is a really, really good purchase for anybody who doesn't necessarily need an LED display on their entire thing, showing them who's calling and things like that. So it's a good purchase for anybody who is active but just doesn't need that. Again, I'm Shannon Morse, and this is the Misfit Flash. Back to you.
Shannon Morse, snubs and a buy on the Misfit Flash. What are you wearing? Oh, it's a Misfit. Oh, is that the Flash? Yeah, it's the Misfit Flash. I don't know. I would get a better name if I were them.
Kind of full of Win. And speaking of
Win, in a little bit, we're going to talk about the WinBook. Don't get excited, Miriam. Miriam stuck around because she wants to see this $59 Windows 8 tablet. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you, I don't have to tell you about iFixit. No. Miriam says she gets all her parts at iFixit.com, and that's where you get the guides, too. Look, these are the repair kits for the iPhone 5S, the battery. And look, this is neat. So we've talked about iFixit before. We've talked about the iFixit toolkit. Kyle Weems and the company have been on the shows many times with their teardowns of new products. But really, their business is to be the ultimate directory of repair manuals. DIY repair, it saves you money, it's convenient, you learn something, and you're the kind of geeks that really, you want to fix it yourself, right? And thanks to iFixit, it's easy to do. They have dozens of display and battery kits for all sorts of devices. This is the iPhone 5S battery replacement, and this is what I love about this. Look how nice this comes here. Show Brian the show the box kit, because so you get the spudgers. That's what these are called. Those are spudgers. The special magic screws for the pentalobe or whatever it is. The Apple's using the security torque screws. Of course, you get the battery, but see, you don't just get the battery. You even get a suction cup that makes it easy to remove the screen. All the tools you need to do this easily, and then of course, the full instructions, including videos in many cases, are online at iFixit.com. Your iPhone 5S, the first thing that breaks on an iPhone is the screen. I don't know anybody who hasn't broken an iPhone screen at least once. Look at this. Here's a 5S display assembly repair kit. There's the display, the tools you need, the spudgers, the special screwdrivers, even a little, I like this, even a little a wipe.
I know. They think of everything.
They think of everything. So you can clean up whatever the adhesive before you replace it. I think these guys are great. Great prices. You'll have a great sense of accomplishment. All the parts are tested, so you'll also have peace of mind knowing that whatever part you get is going to work, and they're guaranteed. So if the part fails, maybe it wasn't the part's fault. Maybe you spudged a little too hard. If you over-spudged, they're guaranteeing they'll make things right. iFixit, don't over-spudge, okay? iFixit, the best tools, the best repair parts, the best step-by-step guides to show you exactly how to fix a device you're working on. They have comprehensive repair guides for every single iPhone ever made, every single iPad ever made, Mac computers, Android devices. These guides are free, no purchase necessary. iFixit. They make DIY repair fun, easy, and affordable. Now, of course, we got a deal. We got to give you a deal, right? Head over to ifixit.com/twit. You'll find all the tools, parts, and kits you need to fix your broken stuff. Even McDonald's Happy Meal toys can be fixed with the iFixit.
Oh, yeah. They have instructions.
This makes me happy. I know, it's silly. Do use the code before you buy, one word at checkout. You'll save $10 off any purchase of $50 or more. ifixit.com/twit. Don't forget to use the offer code before you buy to save a little and let them know you heard about it on, what is this show? Before you buy. I'm distracted by a 3D Nintendo DS Super Smash Brothers.
Have you played with one of those before, Leo?
I played with the regular DSs, the 3DSs. This is a 3D 3DS, which sounds like I'm stuttering. But Bryan Burnett, are you a 3DS fan?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, I've kind of held off buying one until now, but my brothers have had them for a while.
Yeah. Take us on a tour of the new 3D 3DS, Bryan. What? Tell me about it.
Okay, so the biggest difference with the new 3DS is that they added what they call super stable 3D. And so the 3D used to be, if you moved it side to side at all, you would kind of lose that 3D effect, right, which kind of ruins the whole thing.
They call that lenticular 3D, where it's just based on your positioning near the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of...
This is still doing that a little bit. Did you find this very realistic? It's super stable?
So what it tries to do is the camera tries to track your face. So if you kind of have to hold it a little bit.
To be closer to it.
Yeah, really get in there. Yeah.
It's more 3D-ish now.
It's definitely more. Whoa!
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, is it has the slider, so you can kind of adapt how much 3D you want to use.
They've always done that. So
yeah, that's nothing new. No, the new thing is the face tracking. So it'll kind of follow your face and try to optimize the screen for where you're looking at it.
In your experience, better?
Yes. Good. Compared to side by side with the older DS, it's a lot better. So if you're going to be using this on the bus or in a train or something that you're going to be moving a little bit, it makes a big difference.
You really? Did you try it in a bus or train? Because my experience with using these things in a bus or train is it's a great way to get really sick.
Well, for me, it depends.
Bother you?
It doesn't bother me, but for every person, it's going to be a little bit different. But I usually keep the slider about halfway. Okay. And that's kind of my ideal 3D zoom effect. It does take a little bit of getting used to, though. All right. But the other things that they've kind of added for this new version is a couple extra bumper buttons in the back. And one of the bigger improvements that they have is the little nub on the front. It's next to the A, B, X, Y buttons out there. Yeah. So that's kind of like the, those little nub buttons on Lenovo laptops?
Yeah.
It's just like that. So it's another analog stick, but it's just a little nub on there. And that comes in handy for a lot of the newer games that they're coming out with, and you can use it in Super Smash Brothers for certain things and stuff. So there you go, right off the cliff.
I'm sorry for ruining your game.
No, I started it up so you could play around with it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Oh, I did it off the cliff again.
So those are a couple of the new improvements. It only comes in red and black, and then there's a special edition version of it that nobody seems to be able to get their hands on, so don't even try.
Oh, off the cliff again. But in a 3D, it's very, very realistic. So that's the game that you're just taking out there? Is that it?
Yeah, so they're on cartridges. It comes with a 4 GB micro SD card that is underneath the bottom panel. Mm-hmm. You can replace that with up to 32 gigabytes. And where that comes in handy is if you're going to use the Nintendo online store to buy games, you can download directly to your SD card, so you don't have to use cartridges if you don't want to. Which I haven't tested that out yet. I'm waiting for a 32 gig card to come in, but the 4 gigabytes is plenty if you're not planning on downloading games to it. What else is it? Oh, and so they've updated the processor and everything, so games load a lot faster. It's a lot snappier than the old version. Another thing that they added was NFC support. So the touchpad on the bottom there, that bottom screen, also has an NFC reader behind the screen. So earlier in the year, they introduced some NFC reader tags on things called amiibos. They're like little characters that can save game data and characters in that game you're playing, Smash Brothers. So you just tap the amiibo to that screen and it transfers the data. So that's something new for this DS also.
So if you had an existing DS that was in good shape, do you feel like you would want to upgrade?
If you had a DS, which I didn't, I would probably say hang on to it and wait until next year. The new updates are nice, and the face tracking is the big one. The nub is nice, but if you already have a 3DS XL, I would just stick with it and maybe wait until next year. But if you've been waiting for a new one,
pretty fun,
like I have, I would really recommend this one because the 3D always felt a little, off-putting. It wasn't really as refined as it is kind of now, and it's like now I can tolerate it, or I like it. Whereas before I would only tolerate it and use it like half the time. So it's really, the hardware specs aren't going to impress anybody as far as, when you compare them to cell phones, because it's a 4.8-inch screen on the top, but it's 800 by 240. And then the bottom one's even less than that. It's 320 by 240. And it has a gigabyte of internal flash memory, but it does come in at $200. And for dedicated games and having the hardware buttons, it's really nice for that. So this is definitely appealing for people who want the buttons. And if you're a cell phone gamer, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you're looking to get engrossed into games that come up to like 60, 70 hours for some of them, this is a good way to do it.
Compared to maybe a PS Vita or a PSP, the screen is terrible.
Yeah.
It's just, but that's not who the market is. And it certainly is good gaming fun, I have to say. Pretty impressive. So, pros and cons, real quick.
So, for the pros, it's the 3D, definitely. Yep. The new little controller nub that they added, the C-Stick, definitely a must-have if you're using any 3D games. Like I was playing Zelda, and it's nice to use the C-Stick to rotate the camera around.
Yeah.
And it's a lot faster than the older version of the DS, so games load up really quick and it's super snappy. As for the cons, the biggest one is it doesn't come with a power adapter. So
you
Nintendo,
have to buy one?
You have to buy it separately.
Wait a minute, is it proprietary? It's not a USB?
It's a proprietary connector.
And they don't give you one?
Nope. No. So they assume that you either have one from a prior edition of the 3DS. How much is
the additional power?
$15.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that was kind of pissed me off too.
Wait a minute. That's just basically a way to hide $15 worth of cost.
It's like the new way of saying batteries not included. But
you can't use it at all
without the adapter.
Without the power adapter.
I think, Nintendo has a way of shooting themselves in the foot every time.
Kind of stunning. I've never heard of an electronics
I think they kind of assume this is an increment update to the 3DS.
So you already have one.
Right, and there's a lot of different versions that use the same connector, so you can use that. I don't have another 3DS, so I had to buy another one. And they're actually kind of hard to find too. So
even better. We have a shortage of them.
And then the
why
other,
can't they just use micro USB like everyone else?
Because it's Nintendo.
Right, they want to make a little extra money.
The other con would be it only comes in that XL size. There is a smaller version.
It's big, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we were comparing it to a 7-inch tablet, and it's actually almost as big.
Which, I mean, I prefer it because if I'm going to use the 3D, I like to have the bigger screen.
Yeah.
But there is a smaller version that they are not releasing in the US at this time that also has like changeable faceplates and kind of a cooler color scheme. They just decided they weren't going to release it here, so this is the only size choice that you get. And some people don't like the larger size depending on, your pocket size and stuff like that. So those are the two cons, but as I bought it, I definitely give it a buy. And if you've been waiting to get a 3DS, this is the one to get.
Yep. Still no capacitive screen on the touch screen, huh?
Not on the
really
top.
touch it hard.
Oh, so
it's
on
like, what is this? 2004?
They give you a little stylus that you can use for the bottom screen.
Okay.
But
yeah, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, hardware wise,
they're keeping the price down.
It's $200.
Yeah. So buy, don't buy. I guess you said buy, right? You did.
Yep.
He put his money where his mouth is. Buy, and then just make your own power adapter.
Such a pain.
Seriously. Somebody's got to sell
at least that it still works with the old DS and adapters, right? So you don't have
Correct. Correct.
All right. Hey, thank you, Bryan Burnett, our technical director, a buy on the new Nintendo 3D 3DS. With what do they call the new 3D? They call
it new
Super
Nintendo
Stable.
3DS. It's
super stable. Super stable. We know a lot of you are interested in microphones. A lot of podcasters watch the show. A lot of wannabe podcasters, and we've talked about Samson, not Samsung, Samson, S-A-M-S-O-N, USB mics for a long time. In fact, I was introduced to Samson years ago by Roger McGuinn of the Byrds. He used them to make his albums. Samson has a new one, the Go Mic Direct. Chad Johnson has a review.
Hello, my name is Chad. I'm with Twit and Before You Buy, and today I am reviewing the Samson Go Mic Direct. It's this bad boy. Just to not give you the false impression, I'm using this microphone to capture my voice right now, not this microphone. The Samson Go Mic Direct is a small USB mic that you can plug into the side of a laptop. I currently have it plugged into my tower PC with an extender that they don't supply. This is my own extender. The mic is pretty small, about 2 inches by 2 inches by, I'd say, about 3/4 of an inch thick. It has a swivel microphone head, so you can point it sort of in any direction. And it also has LEDs on the back and on the front to give you a little bit of an idea if you're peeking out the microphone. If you talk too loud, this will turn red and give you an idea if the microphone is peaking and being too loud. So I'm going to give a little product demo. I have 3 microphones plugged in and hooked into my recording software right now, recording simultaneously. First is the Heil PR40, which you've heard me on so far. Next is the Samson Go Mic Direct. And you can tell that it is a little bit more roomier. My voice does sound okay, but you can hear the fan in my computer that's running right next to me. This claims for noise cancellation. If it does do noise cancellation, it doesn't do an awful lot. Next, I also have the built-in microphone that is in the webcam that I'm using to capture my video. So you can just get an idea between the webcam mic and the Samson Go Mic Direct mic, just to get an idea between the two differences if you were to say just use the microphone built into your webcam. Who would buy this device? Well, Samson says on their box, perfect for Skype, FaceTime, YouTube videos, and more. I don't really agree with the YouTube videos. I don't think anyone's going to take you seriously with this type of mic. You would have to spend a little bit more in order to get a higher quality microphone. But for Skype and FaceTime, if you're trying to get over, say, a internal microphone built into your laptop that isn't very good quality, that maybe people can't hear you, this seems like a great alternative. I've sometimes run into really bad microphones built into laptops, and this is only $40. So for a small upgrade, if you need to do a conference call, having this in your backpack to plug into your laptop that you know the mic is bad in would actually be the perfect use for the Samson Go Mic Direct. Pros and cons. Pro is that it is small. Another pro is that it has a retractable USB. And another pro is that it does give you an LED readout when this is peaking. On the cons, noise cancellation, not so great. Quality is not, I would say, at a professional level, which I wasn't really expecting in this small of a microphone. And my final con is that this has to be plugged in to the left side of your computer. The swivel action doesn't go all the way around, so if it was plugged in the other way, you could actually point it at your mouth. Finally, the Samson Go Mic Direct is about $40 online. MSRP is higher, but I'm finding it for about $40 just about everywhere. And in the box, it does come with a small carrying case, which is padded for the Samson Go Mic, which is kind of a nice feature. Buy, try, don't buy for the Samson Go Mic Direct. I'm going to give this a buy. The quality isn't the best, but also it's only $40. And if you're trying to upgrade from the built-in microphone inside of your laptop, this is kind of the perfect solution. It's small, it's portable, and it is easy to use. Thanks so much for watching my review of the Samson Go Mic Direct. I have been Chad. The whole video long, I've been Chad. For Twit and Before You Buy, and I'll see you next time.
Chad Johnson. You can find out more about OMG Craft at his Patreon site, OMG Chad. Yeah,
It's complicated.
It's very nice.
Isn't it?
It is complicated because the show's craft, but he's Chad.
I know.
Patreon.com/OMGChad. I'm pulling over my smart things because this is such a cool idea. You know, I know a lot of you want to automate. In fact, I've for years wanted to automate my home, but was put off by the conflicting standards and different things don't talk to one another. And I just thought this is way too complicated. So did the folks at Smart Things. That's why they did a Kickstarter to make this the Smart Things Hub, which unifies pretty much everything that you can use in your home. It becomes the centerpiece for your Hue lights from Philips, your Sonos speakers, your Schlage locks, so many devices. And then you can control this with a smartphone app, iOS or Android. Smart Things really has it down. And now you can get a great deal if you want to get started with Smart Things with one of Smart Things' home security or solution kits. Imagine having your lights, your locks, your thermostats, your home security all connected through an iOS, Android, or Windows phone app, by the way. Yes, I can use my Lumia with it. Intuitive controls allow you to set the rules on your smartphone. You can customize the way your devices talk to each other. For instance, tap good night on your phone and the lights turn off, the thermostats turn down. Yes, it works with your Nest. Oh, actually, it works with the Honeywells. It works with a lot of different thermostats. The doors will lock with your Bluetooth lock. Set your lamps to brighten each morning at sunrise or when you want to wake up. Even keep your home protected with their home security kits that include motion detection and water detection and more. In fact, I've got a bunch, along with the hub, I've got a bunch of the little doohickeys that this is the Smart Sense open and close sensor. You've seen these before, like they go on windows and doors. But this does more. Besides alerting you to unexpected entry, it can tell you what the temperature is, too.
Right. So
I mean, these things are so smart. This will trigger you if there's motion. This is their Smart Sense motion detection. You can give the kids, these are inexpensive, put them on keys or give them to the kids, put in their backpack. Smart Sense Presence will let you know when the kids come home or where you've left your keys. I can go on and on. Here's what I want you to do. Visit smartthings.com/twit. Smartthings.com/twit. Take a look at one of the solution kits or the security kits. CES's 2015 Editor's Choice Award. CNET said it's their highest rated smart home system, and you can get 10% off any home security or solution kit and free shipping in the U.S. when you go to smartthings.com/twit and use the offer code TWIT at checkout. If you've been putting this off, this is really a lot.
Did you know that they support Zigbee and Z-Wave?
They do.
And so that means that there are some bulbs out there now, I think at Lowe's or Home Depot, that are non-branded, generic.
That are Zigbees.
That are Zigbees.
Yeah.
That cost like $10.
You don't have to do the Hue.
Yeah. We live in an incredible world. I'm telling you.
I was doing the radio show this weekend, I think it was, and somebody said, did you see that WinBook has a tablet, the TW700 tablet, and Micro Center is selling this for $59.99. I said, wait a minute. This is what, Android? No, this is Windows 8.1 with Bing. That's the $0 version of Windows that Microsoft offers manufacturers. And I said, well, for $59 plus shipping, $6 shipping if you get it from Micro Center. I got it on Amazon with Amazon Prime, so I got it right away. And that was $59.99 plus $10, so $69.99. But this is it. This is it. You get a Windows 8.1 tablet, 7 inches. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It is an IPS screen. I'll enter my, it's okay, you can see my PIN, I don't care. I'll enter my PIN so we can log in and see it. It is a touch tablet. Not the fastest processor. It's a system on a chip, the Intel Bay Trail processor. It comes with 16 gigs of internal storage. Only about 8 are available once you've installed Windows. Although I have to say, first thing I did is sign up for free Microsoft Office
of course.
For a year. So, I mean, the full Office for a year, that's worth more than $59. In fact, I was thinking...
So it came with that?
It comes with it.
Yep.
I was thinking, this is less than the tax I paid on my 1520, my Lumia 1520. Less than the tax I paid on the Lumia 1520. It does not have a lot of junkware on it. The first time I turned it on, it said, do you want to download ESET? I said, no. It said, okay, we'll uninstall. And that was that. Because I logged into my Windows account, I was able to download all the existing apps that I had on my other machines. In fact, it said, hey, do you want to set it up, as Windows does, do you want to set it up like the Dell or like the Asus or what? And I said, well, set it up like the Dell, and boom, I'm set up.
All your stuff was there?
All my stuff is there. OneNote. This is not some cheap Microsoft Office. This is the full Microsoft Office in a 7-inch tablet. Quad-core processor, don't be fooled by that. It isn't the super fastest processor in the world, and there is only 1 gig of RAM, so I wouldn't expect a lot of multitasking. As often the case with very low-cost Windows tablets, there's no Windows button, which is what you'd expect, but there's a physical button that'll bring you back to the desktop, so it's a little less convenient than tapping the Windows button, but it still works.
What's it like using the classic environment? Have you tried it?
The classic environment?
You know,
I mean, the desktop?
Yeah, the desktop.
I mean, here's the issue with this. This is 1280 by 800
ouch,
on a 7-inch screen. Well, you know, I almost would say, ouch, I should have a higher res screen because all my phones are more than that. But you know what? It's almost, look how small these icons are. It's almost too small to tap an icon. Let me tap an icon.
But you see, the cool thing about this, what has got me excited about this is that you can just, there's a standard USB port on the side, right?
There is, that's really interesting.
And you can connect a keyboard and mouse to that, or like a Logitech receiver, and then you can dock this to HDMI to a large screen, and now you have a full-blown PC that runs actual Windows apps.
That's right.
Legacy Windows apps.
Yes.
That's insane.
Mini HDMI, full-size USB 2, not 3. It charges via micro USB, so you can keep it charging while you're using your USB screen. And you want to add memory, there's even a little micro SD card slot here that can handle up to 64 gigs. So memory's not an issue. It comes with Pogo Plug, 10 gigabytes free of Pogo Plug. So you get you get desktop storage. Here's our chat room running in the background all the time. Here's Skype. Actually, I was going to place a Skype call, but instead, you know what I'll do is I'll run a little YouTube video so you can hear what the sound is. The sound is not great. I mean, what did you expect? Come on, kids.
It's $59.
It's $59.
You can buy 5.
But you could plug in, and you could plug in a, now see how hard, even at 1280 by 800, how hard it is to hit those little things there to make that go full screen. Let's turn it up and we can hear Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson funkify.
Just tap the screen.
I'm going to put it up to the microphone so you can hear it. It's got dual speakers coming out of the bottom.
It's such a good song.
Isn't it good?
It's such a good song.
But you're not exactly getting the full bass.
It's actually
a good song is still danceable. And look at this is the video playback. This is YouTube high def video. Plays back just fine, no stuttering. Now, there are a few negatives. It does have a camera, not the greatest camera you ever saw, and front and back.
Wow, back?
Yeah, I don't think you'd really ever want to use the camera for anything. That's why I was going to do a Skype call. It's probably good enough for Skype. Let me find the camera.
I wonder why they don't save the money and just put a better front camera and only a front camera.
Don't put a camera in at all. What are you doing? Skype. For Skype, I guess you have to put a front camera.
So just put a better front camera and don't put a back camera.
That would be a smart
on a budget, I think that'd be the smart way to go.
I'm trying. I can't see the little tiny. You're probably going to want to use it in the big tile mode. In fact, you're probably going to want to stick for the most part with modern apps, full screen modern apps, because
it's pretty amazing that's 800 by 1280 though.
You don't feel like this is slow, do you? I mean, it feels like this is the first time I've launched this cooking app, so that's a little slow.
I mean, you're going to run out of RAM, but the Bay Trail is the one used in the Transformer TF100 from last year.
It's a decent,
which is a great.
This is complete. Look at this. This
quad
is
core.
This is scrolling. I'm not feeling any. It's got 802.11 B, G, and N. It's an IPS screen, but you can see it's not a bad looking screen. Nope. Even at an angle,
that's not bad.
It's pretty good. You know, you're not.
You know, it's amazing. It's better than the Acer tablet from 2 years ago that came out.
I feel like we're living in.
$200.
Look, it's a king cake for Mardi Gras. I feel like we're living in amazing times. For $59, you can get a 7-inch tablet. That's our chat room. They're chatting at me. Oh yeah, you can even use Snap, so you can you can multitask. And I'll be honest, I've got as you can see a bunch of apps going. I don't feel like it's that slow.
No,
I'm using a lot of RAM here. Windows is well tuned for this. It's Windows 8.1 with Bing, which means only thing that means is that Bing is the default search for the Internet Explorer. You can change that to Google, not a big deal. I think this is pretty impressive.
And you can run legacy apps. That's the thing that blows my mind.
You can run desktop apps.
Like, you can get an Android tablet for $59, and it's not.
You can run Android.
It's just not going to let you do the same kind of productive work that you can do with this.
So, this may be a clearance. We're not clear on why it's so cheap, frankly. The WinBook 7-inch TW700 tablet, Windows 8.1 with Bing, has a 1-year limited warranty, a year of Office. That would cost you more if you subscribed. It costs you 72 bucks.
Yep.
So
you get like a whole bunch of...
The computer's free, kids. And we'll even give you a few bucks extra.
You get a bunch of OneDrive storage, too,
You
right?
get OneDrive storage. I have unlimited OneDrive storage because I have an Office 365 subscription. That's one thing to note. If you already have an Office 365 subscription, you sign into your account, your Windows account, as I did on this tablet, you won't be able to take advantage of the free version of Office. You have to use your own existing version of Office. Big deal.
So it's a good gift is what you're saying.
Yeah. Pros and cons. The pros, the price is unbelievable. This would be great for a kid or a student. Also, full-size USB means you can use a keyboard and mouse with it. That's great. I should hook it up, but I didn't think of that. Do we have a mini HDMI converter? I could hook it up and we could see what the screen looks like. It is a very surprisingly good for the price, 1280 by 800 IPS screen. Very legible, very bright colors. Sound is not great. I would say that's a con. The cameras are a super con. It's terrible. But again, I don't think you should buy this for a camera. It's probably adequate to do Skype. And it's certainly adequate for some, lightweight computing. You'd probably want to stick, just because of the size of the screen, 7-inch screen, you probably want to stick with the modern apps. I mean, an Excel spreadsheet at 1280 by 800 on a 7-inch screen is not going to be that easy.
The other thing you can do is adjust the native resolution of the desktop.
You can.
Right?
You can mess with it a little bit, but you probably can't mess with it enough to make it super useful. And even if you increase the DPI,
for sure, yeah.
You're not gonna. These icons are not going to get.
Oh my God!
They're not going to get much more useful.
Feel like a giant right now.
And you can't. There's no way to zoom in on. Oh, look, I could do that. But these icons, no. So you just have to develop. And it doesn't come with a stylus, although you probably would want to use a stylus with it. In many ways, this is an amazing product that kind of tells you a little bit about what's going on in this world of computers. Processors have become so inexpensive, so powerful, so low power. Oh, I didn't mention battery life. That's another pro, believe it or not, about 5 hours battery life per charge. Yeah, it's not iPad level, but it's good enough. $59.99 plus shipping. It comes out under $70 for the WinBook TW700 tablet. Definitely. So if you've got a use for it, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
So it's a win?
It's a win. Even for just having the chat room running in the background or watching videos in the back seat, for a kid, this would be amazing. This is just an incredible
I'm really
thing.
impressed that there's a regular USB on this
That's,
thing.
I think, one of the big selling points.
Because most of the ones that I've played with that are the small tablets just have nothing.
You
need a
USB
dongle or an adapter, and you get angry, and you throw it around the table.
Yeah, well, you could. At $59, it's not a really expensive
thing. You can buy
do.
5.
Yeah.
Buy 5. Yeah. I just buy 5.
Somebody says, can you show the keyboard? The keyboard is actually very usable. This is very much like an iPad keyboard. It's because it's 7 inches, it's thumb typeable, which is actually makes it particularly useful. So I like this WinBook. I'm going to say that to the chat room. It's got predictive type, and there it goes.
Boom, look at that.
Boom. Booyah.
It's a win.
It's a win for the WinBook. Can you believe that? Wow. Wow. A full-size PC in a 7-inch box. That's it for this edition of Before You Buy. Miriam Jouar, thank you for coming through the embargo and giving us a really great review of Bryan Burnett, thank you. Thanks to Shannon Morse, Chad Johnson. I'm Leo Laporte. Remember, we do this show every Tuesday right after Security Now, so tune in and watch live. But if you can't, on-demand versions always available, twit.tv/BYB, or you can get a review of the whole show or any individual review on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/beforeyoubuy. If you have something you'd like to see us review, like this is by request, email byb@twit.tv, and we'll take your requests under advisement, as they say.
We'll consider them.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it.
And if you want Miriam to review it, you have to request her too.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm using it.
She'll do anything.
I'll do reviews. I like reviews. Reviews are good.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Tanya Hall, our producer, Karsten Bondi, too. We'll see you next time. Remember, you got to watch before you buy. Take care.